What's up, peeps? I'm returning today with the 1 chrono or less gear setup. Today is going to be the Necromancer, a class dear to my heart. I love playing Necro. I think the top three for me is Necro, Bard, and Enchanter. So anytime a new server comes out, I'm probably going to be playing one of those three. But anyway, I'm rambling. So the idea today is going to be if you're returning EQ player, new player, currently playing but don't want to spend a whole lot. The idea is if you go to the store and buy a chrono, you can trade it to a player for about 8,300 platinum right now. And then the gear setup here I have is about 8,000 plat. So you can trade that in for platinum and then be on the lookout for these items. And you won't have to start the game being naked. And yeah, naked, effectively. The stats that I'm going with, the main stats, prioritizing hit points for a Necromancer, and I'll get into that in a second. Prioritizing hit points, second mana, so hit points and stamina are going to be the primary, and then mana and int are going to be secondary, but only slightly secondary. So they're about even, but I look for more health than mana, and that's because Necromancers, they are great at soloing, and a lot of times you find Necromancers that do solo, and they don't necessarily like the group content all that much, but Necromancers are the perfect class to go out there and solo. So when you're soloing and you accidentally pull an extra mob or something like that, you don't want to die immediately. You want to have a nice hit point buffer. Also, they come equipped with the Lich line, or like I think it's Vampiric Pact or Dark Pact or something like that, but it's the Lich line of abilities. It turns you into a skeleton later on, and it drains every tick. It drains your hit points for mana. So they have this permanent, awesome mana regeneration buff, but like you lose hit points every tick. So two reasons why I prioritize health over mana. But you still do want to you don't want to have no mana or whatever. You don't want to rely on your mana regeneration completely. You want to have a nice buffer of mana so that you don't run out of spells while you're kiting. And but then you're gonna lean heavily on your Lich line to keep you going longer. Yeah. So anyway, that's the reason that I picked those 4 stats. Really, they're just 2 stats, health and mana. But why don't we just get right into the list of gear? So once again, to recap, this gear setup is about 8,000 plat. Now you can work down prices with people. You're going to be trading directly with players. So a lot of them will be willing to shave off some platinum here and there. So it might be less, but the setup is 8,000 plat, and then chrono value right now is about 82 to 8,300 plat. All right, let's begin with the earrings. So the earring slot, the first one is Hammered Golden Hoop. This is 450 plat, and I recommend this for every character. Doesn't matter what class you are, I recommend this because it has a massive amount of hit points. So we're talking 75 hit points, 8 stamina. What? Are you kidding me? That's a massive amount of hit points. I love it. It's so good. It's like the perfect thing for the price. And then you get into like the crafted earrings. So like the next one, Black Sapphire Electrum earring, it's 500 platinum, and it comes with 35 hit points and 25 mana. So you compare the two. Hammered Golden Hoop is 50 plat less, but it comes with like tons of hit points, and then the crafted ones, a little bit more expensive with a little bit less stats. So Hammered Golden Hoop, Black Sapphire Electrum earring. Boom. Done. Awesome. All right, let's move on to the head slot. Loam Encrusted Cap for 500 platinum. There's a lot of Loam Encrusted on this list because it's, I would say, everywhere. At the beginning of the server, Loam Encrusted is everywhere because people are actually grinding in the zone where it drops. So there's going to be, I think there's like 5 Loam Encrusted pieces on this list, but I digress. So Loam Encrusted Cap, 500 plat, and it's 5 int, 5 mana. Okay, simple, cheap, and there's a lot of helms out there, but they're really expensive. So like they get into like the thousands of plat range. So for the 500 plat, we'll take it. All right, moving on to the face slot, Crystal Spider Eyes. This is 400 platinum, and it comes with 35 hit points, 35 mana, and 3 int. Boom! Nice stats. Neck piece, the choker, is Black Sapphire Platinum necklace, and this is another one that I recommend for like every class because it's 500 platinum, and it comes with 55 hit points, 55 mana. So gear early on, especially like lower level gear, well, mid-level gear, the maximum stat you really get for health and mana is 55. So Hammered Golden Hoop is a little bit different because it doesn't have, any other stats really, but like 55 seems to be a recurring number on a lot of these pieces. But anyway, neck piece, 55 hit points, 55 mana. I'll take it. It's amazing. All right, moving on to the cloak back slot, Shimmering Terrorhide Cloak. This is 150 platinum. Doesn't have any mana or anything like that, but it comes with 50 hit points. So like that's a sick amount of hit points. Love it. 150 plat, 50 hit points. Damn. Love it. Shoulder piece. Now shoulders were hard to find for an int caster, at least today when I was looking. There's a lot that are really expensive. So like the Obulus Death Shroud is like 3 chrono itself, and it's because it comes with a sick focus effect. There are a few other shoulder pieces that were really expensive, and I just couldn't put them on the list. So this will have to do. Is the Embroidered Black Cape. It's 50 platinum for 15 hit points, 20 mana. Simple, cheap, and it'll do for now. It'll do. And once again, like some of these pieces don't seem amazing by themselves, but putting the entire gear set together is gonna tell a really nice story of hit points and mana. So it has its place. It has its place. Chest piece. This is by far the most expensive piece on the list, but I was left after building my original list. I had like 1,000 plat to work with, so I'm like, all right, I'll spruce up some other slots. So chest piece, loam encrusted robe. It's 1,000 plat, and this comes with 5 int and 80 mana. So this is just a giant mana pool. Yeah, so it is what it is. Nice robe. There's another one out there, Tulipumja's robe, which is about the same. So if you can't find loam encrusted, you could go with Tulipumja's robe, which I believe is 50 hit for 50 mana and 10 int. So roughly the same, but if you can't find loam encrusted, maybe go with the Tulipumja's robe. All right, moving on. Arm piece. Arm piece was the arm slot was another slot that was kind of hard to find stuff in. There's gator scale sleeves, which is what I recommend, 300 platinum. It comes with a focus effect of enhancement haste 1, but that's not really anything for a Necromancer. You don't really have buffs that you're like needing to speed up and stuff like that. So it's not really that big of a deal, but it does come with 15 hit points and 4 int, which is cool. And then there's another arm piece, I think it's called Black Ice Sleeves. They come with no stats though, but they have enhanced damage 1. So it will buff your life taps and your like expel undead spells a little bit, but it also has diminishing returns after like level 15. So it doesn't really have any stats to speak of, but if you want to buff your nukes a little bit, then maybe go with that. But once again, I mean, it's really all personal preference. So I would go with the Gator Scale Sleeves, but if you want to buff your life tap a little bit, maybe go with the Black Ice. All right, moving on to the wrist slot, loam encrusted bracelets times deuce. These are 350 platinum each. Yeah, 15 mana and 3 int. So simple little bracers. Once again, a slot that doesn't have too much to speak of. So these are usually really easy to find, and I recommend just to keep yourself sane, go with these. You won't have to spend very long looking for them. Yeah. So moving on to the rings. 2 Platinum Fire Wedding Rings, which are, once again, recommended for every class. They're 250 platinum, and they come with 55 hit points. So amazing health pool. Both those rings is, 110 hit points? Nice. For 500 plat, dang, that's like unheard of. Anyway, moving on to the belt. Crystalline Silk Belt, 200 platinum. This comes with 20 hit points, 20 mana, and 3 int. So simple, cheap, and effective. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, moving on to the gloves, netted kelp gloves. These are 400 plat, and I didn't even know these existed until today, so I'm kind of glad that I am doing this because I love these gloves. They're 5 int and 6 stamina for 400 plat. Nice. There are a few other ones, but they're way more expensive. So, yeah, maybe once you start getting up there in levels and you start getting some sick loot, some sick money, you can maybe upgrade that. But for 400 platinum, 5 int and 6 stamina is just a great item. Okay, leg slot, loam encrusted pantaloons, the loons. These are 600 plat, and they come with 10 hit points, 5 mana, and 3 int. So fairly lackluster. I mean, the stats aren't massive, or the price. This might be an item that you could talk down in price, but I think the price is 600 because there's not too many other things to put in the slot for an int caster. Yeah, so see if you can talk the price down from 600, but you're probably going to have to settle for that. Feet slot. Now this is critical for a Necromancer. 200 platinum for Cobalt Hide boots. They don't come with any mana or any int or anything like that, but they do come with 10 hit points and dun dun dun, Burning Affliction 2. What? So Burning Affliction is a focus effect, and it will increase the damage you deal by a certain range. It'll increase the damage you deal with your damage over time spells. So like as a Necromancer, you're stacking tons of damage over time spells, or at least you have tons to work with. This thing will make your efficiency so much more. And it's just, I would say for boots, Necromancer, I don't think there's any other choice. Like, even if there was, even if you had like a few thousand plat to work with, I would just still stick with the Cobalt Hide boots, you know. Even if you could afford a Golden Afridi boots, I would still go with the Cobalt Hide boots. They're just that good. They're that good. Okay, moving on to the range slot. Bronze Statue of Bathazid is once again another item that I'm probably going to be recommending for like every character, because every class can use it, and it comes with 6 stamina and then 25 hit points and 25 mana. So it's just good, and it's 600 plat, so it's cheap. Some of the range slots are just insane in price. Like, yeah, they're just insane in price. I have no idea how they get that expensive. I just think it's because there's not really too much to choose from. So more specialized ones like Idol of the Thorn end up being like thousands of platinum, and you're just like, what? Why? Yeah, anyway. Okay, let's finish off with the primary and secondary items. So the primary is Cone of the Mystics. This is going to be on most of my casters because for 500 platinum, comes with 50 mana and 5 int. Nice mana pool, nice little bit, and yeah, it's just for that price, it's just really good. Yeah, not too much else that needs to be said about it. For the Offhand, I picked a Necromancer only item, Hand of the Reaper. It's cool. It looks like a little claw. But Hand of the Reaper is also 500 plat, and it comes with 15 int. What? 15 int? Good God. 15 int and 20 mana, and it also loses you like 30 charisma, I think. But charisma, the lower your charisma is, the more fear effects work against targets. But as a Necromancer, I almost never fear kite. I would just put a Spirit of the Wolf potion on, slow their movement speed, and then just run around in circles. Like, that's way easier than fearing and, you know, doing all that stuff. But so anyway, there it is. That's the full list. I hope this list helps any aspiring new Necromancers to possibly get out into the world and keep playing and really, really enjoying your character. The last character I played was a Necromancer, and I absolutely loved him. So I hope if anybody's, you know, looking to start a Necromancer, that you love it as much as I did, because it is a very fun class. Only downside is that sometimes it's hard to find a group, but I mean, that's okay. I was still soloing at level 54. Like, I was soloing dragons in Skyfire at level 54. So even if you can't find a group, there's always options out there for you, and really good Necromancers can pull in a lot of experience on their own. So anyway, before I start rambling again, I'd just like to say thank you for anybody who sees this, and if you like the video, throw it a thumbs up, and then also if you like Everquest stuff, like you know, I'm going to be doing one for every class, and ideally I'm going to be doing one for every expansion. So right now it's Velios, and then when Lukeland comes out, I'll probably be doing the same thing with every class, ideally, for Luklin loot. So if you like this kind of stuff, subscribe to my channel, and just want to say thanks for watching, and catch you next time. Peace!